All right. So I just shared that. So this is my first time going live in a while. So I just need a few seconds to make sure that everything is good to go. Yep. Okay. So let's get after it. So today what we're going to do is a get ready with me with a twist. And in it, we are going to be getting ready for the future. So what is that future? The future is the things that are in our control if we have the capacity, right? So when we think about the fact that the climate is a changing, and we who are south of the kind of lines of latitude that keep you with big weather changes, we're creeping and creeping and creeping up more into a time where every single year there is a hurricane, a disastrous hurricane that brutally tears apart a nation, whichever one it is, right? So we know that there are some things as a Jamaican, right? This is very real to me. And the feelings of getting ready could come up in a lot of ways, right? And so what I want to do is I want to put out there a idea of what I'm doing, and we can share each other, we can share notes with each other so that we can build a culture that is going to be able to handle a time where the weather is going to be really unpredictable. So I bought a few things for my family, and actually recently in Jamaica there was a um, light power block off that shut down the entire island, and it was one of those where you really were better off if you had started doing some having some things. So one of the things, this is cheap. A lot of this stuff is from Temu, and that is just where I'm at right now, financially. And so I want to um, really be clear that this might not be affordable for everybody. Affordable is so relative between people, but this is a few things that I was able to afford, um, and hopefully you can too, that would be really good to put away during these um, times where there's a lot of spice going on, right? So when we think about the weather, one of the main features of our world here in the places where hurricanes can happen is that you might be really uncomfortable going to sleep. And so, what we could do is in this one, it's a fan that is portable, and it's a fan that is USB-C charge. It's super cheap. I got this again, like I said, from Tim. I think it was $12 USD. And the button on the back is a light. So when the power came off again across the entire island, it was one of those where you really needed to have flashlights and rechargeable power batteries to be able to power a light if you had one. So those are, you're going to want things that hold a lot of energy. So you're going to want to have things that either hold the energy for themselves, or you're going to need something that allows you to have it charged and ready. Obviously, once the thing is out of charge, then you will need to find another power source. So these are kind of short-term solutions, which is the only thing that we could really be consistent on. I'm buying some more solar powered power banks and solutions, so I can show you some of the things I've bought before. I thank God have never had to use them. But when I think about the fact that in this hot climate, I was able, it needs to be dusted, I was able to sleep with a fan, a pretty strong fan, to be honest. I have an old fan I had since I was a kid in my room, and it's always doing a great job. But this one allowed me to have a fan that if I when I powered it with my power battery through the night, I was able to keep myself pretty comfortable and I slept pretty well. This is not the hot season, so I'm just not good at, like, sometimes. Okay, turn it off now. Go away. Okay. So I'm able to stabilize the airflow with my side fan usually, and then that night with this fan only. And yeah, that was really helpful. The next thing, because my mom and I were able to use it while we kind of used our phones, which is really irresponsible. Don't do that. It was going on this. This is a really large power bank. This, I think, has I don't know the top off the top of my head. I will put it in the description box. But essentially, this is at least 10,000. Let me find it. I bought this again on Temu. It was I don't think, like, over $40. And a lot of the ones that are like Anchor are. So you're gonna want, let me see how many I got in this, because this was really helpful. So I was able to plug this into the fan and get from it a whole night through. And I was able to charge my mom's phone before we went to bed. And I was able to charge my phone. I was able to listen to my, like, sleeping music. This thing is, oh my goodness, 68,900 mega or mAh. I've never seen that before. But it's 120 watts, not watts. So yeah, that's an obscene amount, right? Like, an obscene amount. And this was $20 right now. And I had that, super helpful. It also came with a light, which I didn't end up having to use because as long as I kept this on, the light would shine. But I also, again, could have just used this. You could, there's a button right on the side that you just have to press. Anyways, come on, kid. It just worked earlier. There you go. So, and I'll figure out why that's the case. That's a flashing light. So distress signals. It's pretty nice. And it comes with a cord. I'll figure out a way with the editing so that nobody's messed up by that. But here's a cord, the USB-C and a USB, I think, lightning cable for the older iPhones. And I can plug into here a micro USB charger to charge it. So I can use any old charger I have to charge it up. And then I can use any old charger or new charger because you can use USB Type C to out, and then you can also use, I think so. You can also use USB Type A. And there's one red one, which means that that's the one that outputs the most. So that's super helpful. And then this is a multi-tool I didn't end up having to use or never have used, but I like multi-tools. Um, I remember hearing from somebody that these are, because there's so many points of failure, this is kind of a silly thing. Like you would want to have your own separate versions of each of these kind of tools, but because I love efficiency, I have a pair of pliers on one end. It's a hammer. It's a thing that you can undo things. It's a bottle opener up here. I have no idea what those are. I guess different things for different types of fastenings for the um, nuts and bolts. And then there's also on it, on the other side, the standard multi-tool thing. So a saw, a knife. You saw the saw. Let me make sure you saw the saw. Okay. And then when you go to this part down here, I don't think that there's something inside this, but there could be. But there is a also in this a screwdriver, so I have to pull this out the latch, and then there we go. And then the top one, the top thing up here. Ugh, this is stressful. But if I needed a thing, push it through the other way. And so up here, there's a magnet so that you can use this as a screwdriver. Really, really clever. And there's a flathead, all different types. And yeah, so if I ever need that, I have that. And I'm gonna now have a reason to buy another multi-school thing because I want the ones that have the scissors. And I found the other one on day where there was one with staples. I'm gonna buy it. It's so silly, but I'm gonna buy it because I like stuff like that. I also bought this is my little microscope because I have one of those. I just changed out the light. The what is this? Oh yeah, you need a flashlight. I love this one. It allows you to go wide and then you can go narrow. You need to keep the battery charged because it's used by a battery, but I like having this on me. I've had this literally. I'm going to hopefully keep this for the rest of my life. I would be so heartbroken if this ever broke apart because it's been so cool to be able to, if there's ever a power cut or a reason where your phone as a light source or whatever. I used to walk my dog with this kind of on my keychain. And so I can pull up one of these, but this is just a regular flashlight. It uses AAA batteries. I got one of these where I don't need the unique batteries. So most of the time in your emergency battery packs, and I need to buy some, there is a AAA and a AA. So you just should always have those batteries on hand because it is absolutely the thing that you are going to not be prepared to think about when it comes to emergencies, right? So the next thing I have is this flashlight, this floodlight. So you can put water in it. And I like a hydro-powered light because if you're in a situation where it's raining a lot, and you need to have a light. You don't need, if the battery packs and the flashlight and the phone are not okay, then you, if there was a water emergency, right? You have this. I got this on, like I said, Temu. There's a water, you could use dirty pond water. Yep, it don't matter. You can use dirty pond water, and you can use it to put, and then you put water and then salt. Salt water. Yeah. And then the light comes on. I had another one before. I gave that away to a bunch of people, but I couldn't find it again. It was these like little small flashlights. They were flat. But I wanted to buy another one. Now on Temu, the only ones that they have are this and one that's a bag, and I bought this one. And then the next thing I want to share is water. So I have the kind of name brand Life Straw version. I've had the Brita version. This is a Life Straw water bottle. It can be dirty pond water. The other one, I'm not 100% sure that it can be dirty water, but it needs to be an electrolyte. That's where the energy is coming from. So this, and why I don't love this one is because it's really hard for this to dry out. But the purpose of it is it takes out like bacteria, harsh chemicals, minerals. This is, apparently you can put any kind of water in here and drink out of it in an emergency situation. Usually hikers have that, but I do now too. And I have a Temu version of it that is, I have one for each family member. So this is gonna be mine now. So I have in this one another one where it's probably gonna need something to make it dry, but this is the straw. It's called the Survive Mate. And I've heard, I mean, like this technology has been around long enough for it to be right now mass marketed, and we are in emergent situations. And so you need to get you either the name brand one or a cheap one, and get one for each family member. And from there, personal water. Now for other water. So okay, so this is a pump with this is if you have a water source where you put the water, you put it says it on the top. So I have not used this before, but I've done a lot of research, and these are really helpful. And this is hiking culture, and so the hiking. Not hiking. The way that this works is that in, like demonstrated here, you can use outside water and put this hose in the water source and then attach it to this device. Oh, it was a Ziploc bag. Well, so this one is ours. I'm giving one to my aunt because they were $40 each. So they aren't cheap, but they are how I want to support my family. So the tube goes in the water source, and then you open this. It's gonna pop. It's gonna pop. It's gonna freak me out. Oh, okay. So you pump the water. You pump with this. It's pulling in the air, and the pump is going so that it's pumping the water through a reverse osmosis system that allows you to be able to, and there's a filter here and all this above stuff. And so reverse osmosis is the absolute like top water purification method. As far as I am aware, I can be misled, but I have to turn this all the way back. The point that I want to make is that let me just push it down. And so the large, if you need to shower, if you need to cook, it's not, you don't need a drinking spitting out situation, right? Because this is using to get the water through the membrane on the I confused myself. How did this fit before? Oh, okay. And then what happened? Oh, this is the wrong box. Oh my god. Yeah. This is the box for this one. I can take this out of the box. No, I'm going to keep it in the box because there might be instructions that I need to read. And so the drinking water can also be caught in bulk as well. But you can, but with these, this is fill this up. Your suction is what is actually forcing the water through the purification process, whereas this is using a pump mechanism and the pump pops up. Yep. But there's other things I'm going to have to do that in the I used this before. The water doesn't taste my favorite, but I am talking about emergencies, right? And so the Brita one was the one that tastes the best for me, if anybody wants to know. I also have a document bag with all of my documents in. Again, this one is a Temu, and it is fireproof and waterproof. And so if you are able to get back to your house, you can your important information like your social security number, your passport, your whatever. If you can't get back to your thing or you lost it, it's not lost, right? So you have that. And then I have every one of my family members has a battery pack. So a personal battery pack. Mine is, I got these from Amazon years ago. And then this is the family battery pack. So what I want to add to this is batteries. I saw Temu had one set where you could USB charge the batteries. So I think I just want to get one set of those and one set of regulars, AA, AAA. And I'm going to look onto different websites and see if I can find other things that might be helpful. But I also want to talk about if you are at your time of the month during those emergent times. And I'm not going to show you my drawers, but the sanitation during emergency situation. If you are thinking about, if you're a woman who could be having her period during a terrible, terrible time where you need to, you can wash your clothes. Disposables are pads and tampons, and those are essentially not biodegradable. And so you would essentially, I mean, even if you got biodegradable ones, that's you burying that stuff. What I do is I do a period panty. So it is a panty that is really, really absorbent, and it's more absorbent than any of the tampons or the pads that are out there. It's like super, super modern technology. where you are able to put on those panties. It's not invasive. It's just a pair of underwear, and it's soaking up everything, which is what a period tampon or a pad would do. And you can wash it. And so I've had some for years, and they are easy to find. Like I said, they are available on Temu. I have some from Amazon. I have some name brand ones. I like the ones that are boxers because I like to snuffle up like a cuddly teddy bear when I am during those times. So I use it regularly, but I want to strongly encourage it in terms of emergencies, because you can also, it's something that you would be able to take care of without making a mess. Yeah, as long as you're washing your clothes. If you can't wash your clothes, then you have other issues. But they're panties, so you could bury them too if you wanted to. But they're more absorbent than everything else that's commercially going to essentially be litter. During those times when it might be hard to dispose of things, like that's gross. So um, it will go where all the rest of the dirty water goes for dirty things. And they're again reusable, so you can buy yourself a pack, buy your kid a pack, buy your wife a pack. I mean, even from a standpoint of disaster preparedness, that is a worthwhile conversation, because it's not penetrative, right? Like, it's a pair of panties. It's not, if you're a more conservative woman and concerned about the idea of putting something in you, this is not that, right? And so those are some of the things that I've done for myself. I used to have so much more, but in the move, I couldn't bring it all. So this is me getting ready for the chaos. And I'm just trying to make this go away. So now we're going to do a get ready with me makeup style. So it's a mixture. It's a conversation of that where I kind of talk about hard things and how I'm getting myself organized to meet them. And I also will now do my makeup so that I can film another video after this, I think. So this is my Smashbox Halo. I really like it because it has sunscreen in it. It is nighttime here right now, but I like it because it's also sheer. I probably shouldn't have used this one. I just always go for it. I also like the Maybelline Fit Me, but I like that this is not too thick, and it is the correct shade. My shade is tan, and it is hard to mess up, and it also has sunblock in it. So I like it just as a foundation. And so, marketing team, shout out to you. Like, the number one seller in this was not the built-in SPF as a user. As a marketer and a product marketer, that's how my brain works. I like my NARS palette. When my apartment caught on fire last year, not last year, 2 years ago, one of the things that really helped was the fact that I had my documents in that document box, so none of my documents were damaged. And I couldn't keep my makeup, so I came, back at it with a kind of strategy of buying palettes and things that are multi-use and compact. So I'm just putting on. Matter of fact, I think I've been doing the Painted by Esther, but I'm not doing it right. Like, no, because I don't like layered blush. I think it's beautiful on other women, but I don't. I don't want that many layers on me. I am um oops. I am a person with what is wrong? Oh, the flashlight, and it's durable. This is metal. I gotta get this stuff off my desk. But the Painted by Esther high blush usually takes layers of blush, and I never want my blush to be that pronounced where I would need to layer it. But this is me adding blush. Yeah. And shout out to her. And now we're gonna do eyeshadow, and this is my little mirror for my desk. So I have this pull-out thing. I love this desk. I thrifted it. Oh my god, I love this desk. It reminds me of my auntie Judy. I think so highly of her, and I now have a big girl desk. It's mahogany wood or something, and it has these two sides that pull out because I love that shelf. That shelf is helpful. I've had so many different desks over the course of my life. I've had the L ones, and I had this desk similar. Like, I've been trying to achieve this perfection for years. So I had this similar desk, but it was just less deep, and it was not deep enough. And so now I have so much space to play with. So right now what we're doing is we are adding in, oh my god, you can't see me. Something. Yeah. So the oh look, I did a thing. I'm using the Smashbox palette. I got this from the cosmetic company outlet store. I love that store. I am a makeup girly pop. Like, I love to optimize. And so when I realized that I was just going to keep buying makeup, I was just going, like, I just had to live a life knowing that there needs to be a budget for just titivating from time to time. Because I love it. I enjoy being a girl. And I get to the cosmetic company outlet store because it's actually by the Estee Lauder company. And so you have the fact that it is this is too warm. Strobe light. Sorry for anybody who is sensitive to that. I'll cut that part out. Sorry. You can get Smashbox. You can get NARS. You can get, I think NARS. You can get MAC for sure. You can get Too Faced and Tom Ford and Killian, all at like 75% off. So why wouldn't you? You know what I mean? Like, if you're in the South, make the best of it. There are the outlet malls there are just absolutely like helpful if you are not wealthy out of the box. And oops. Okay. So the next thing I want to do is eyeliner. I am so basic when it comes to my makeup. I used to do so much more, but I kind of like now a certain look that I play with from time to time for sure, but and losing all of that at once, it's hard for me to really go back and it's not at this point in my life, right? Like buy all of the extras that I wasn't really using, that I was always trying to do a project pan on. There are some things I would buy again. I'm so mad that you can't buy a Too Faced natural eye palette anymore. That hurts my feelings. Like that used to be the easiest thing, and it is very similar. If you don't know what it was, it's very similar to this one from um too much light. Maybe. Yeah. It's very similar to this one from Morphe. I got this before I knew that they were who they are. And it comes with a mirror, but this is not the right tone. This is more neutral than what that palette is. And so I'm very sad that it is no longer available to me. I prefer that color palette in browns, but I'm fixing, I think, to buy the oops. Oh, there we go. And the drawers are so deep; they're deep the entire depth of the dock. I love craftsmanship. Oh my goodness. So yeah. I don't know why my mouth opens while I do this. I had the waterproof one, but what's the point of putting on waterproof in the nighttime? But I prefer waterproof eyeliner usually. But why waste it? I just bought this one. This is the um, Maybelline. It's actually kind of hard to get the crazy brands now. To be honest, I still love Lancome. I love Lancome. I love them aggressively. I love them aggressively and deeply. And it is a brand I'll have shipped in from abroad. But the other brands really don't like titillate me like that. Um, so I'll buy cheap lots of things. I really like Maybelline, to be honest with you. Usually they're cheap and cheerful, but their makeup agrees with my body. Um, there's that weird line at the bottom. But I'm not about to like. When you have smaller eyes, you don't necessarily want to put liner in the middle because it can make it so that your eyes look smaller. So sometimes I just like let it ride with that little line there because I don't want a tight line and then risk my eyes looking smaller. But I'm going to keep going. The next thing I wanted to share is getting ready for the next chapter, whatever that means for your business. So, right now, I am so electrified. I had a wonderful conversation with my therapist who made it really easy for me to see that I am really opening up and learning from and getting closer to really being able to see myself well enough to give myself the opportunity to be crafty with my talents and go to market properly. It's so hard to be a entrepreneur and a strategist because it seems like people would thrive, but one of the things that has been really humbling is waiting for things and doing things at the right time, and keep trying, you know. Um, and God has been really good to me. Like usually that works out. Um, I feel ready enough. I could put on a lipstick. I could put on a lipstick. I like my lips natural. I'm starting to realize like there's a look I love for me, and I just basically play from the fact from that. And this is that. Now, because of the blushing, I love that. I like trying the high one. I'm not about to make it bright though. Um, how do you get yourself ready for your finance situation being, regardless if it's at you work at the office or it's because you work for yourself? How do you make it so that your business is going to be resilient? And one of the most important things about that is making sure that your ducks are in order, that you have a process outlined for doing things that allows you to document the things you need to document in a way that does not interrupt your business if there is an outage or a issue or a mistake very easily. So I like digitizing businesses. I think that that allows for people to um, have things on the cloud so that you can reference if you are in um, on a different device, if you are um, um, on a if you need to look up old records, you're not dealing with like weather issues just damaging your property that could include important records that you need to run your business effectively. And so digitizing your business and digitizing it quickly will allow you to really be able to keep things moving more easily so that when there is an emergency, there is still more to be that you don't have unnecessary things that that unnecessary things that just keep popping up that you could have been prepared for, and there's no way that you can deal with uh, uncertainty all the time, right? But at least we in this kind of like zonal area should really consider things that don't easily turn into an electric fire or a puddle of mud of papers when you are trying to decide what is happening with your business. I like to keep things on the cloud. I understand everything that's going on with data centers, and I do also take that very seriously. But I think that there's something to be said for having some sort of cloud-based backup for important documents, so that you have the physical copies that you know is in a fireproof, waterproof box, and you can buy one of those for like $20, and you can. And there's even bigger ones where you, if you had more. I had one when I had my two pets. And so I could keep all of our records together. Yeah, and the thing about it is that you would want to um, put in. Aw, you would want to put in. I just saw that you came. You came, friend. Love, love, single mom. Are you in the chat? Aw. Um. Thanks, friend. Uh. I also think that if you're going to run your business, it's going to be important for you to put your information um, in terms of what what is just superfluous information? I know that's a huge like, do not be communicating only on group chats. That is how you end up in a situation where there's just confusion and nonsense. Okay, so you're gonna want to make a emergency plan. Yeah, you're gonna want to make an emergency plan. My family has mine. I told them about it. What we did is, I mean, and we need to make another one now that I've moved. Sure will. And on it, I have, and there's a Notion template down in the description box below. There's gonna be a place to put in emergency contacts, right? Because nobody is going to remember everybody's phone number. Okay, so if you want to put that in if there's enough space for it in your emergency bag, do that. And if you want to write it out, do that. If you are going to put it on Google Sheets, whatever, write out emergency contacts. Most often, if especially if there's a phone that is dead, you would want to be able to still, if you got a phone call, not have to remember somebody's number. So that's best friends, that's family members that are close and are around to them, just people that you know that they also like. Just ask them who to put on their contact list. Like, you don't have to know them either. But then the next thing is the kind of go plan. So if there is an emergency, let's make sure that we rendezvous at this person's house, this landmark, all of the above. Like, just have a place. It doesn't have to be a long conversation, but it is an important one. Where is our place if we can't find each other, especially in an all digitized world where you could end up with a phone that's dead? And you could end up in a situation where the other person's phone is dead or unavailable or damaged. You would want to be able to have a place that if you're with your boyfriend and I'm with my best friend and we say, hey, the power is out, there's an earthquake. There was an earthquake today, or the other day. If the power goes out and you are lost and delirious, at least you know that physically we're going to stay around here. Okay. And so make that be a place central, make it be accessible. Even if that doesn't mean that if you are living alone and it's not, family members are not accessible, and you would want to look up places where to go to, so it's not hearsay. You understand what is the tornado shelter, the place where the hospital is. Always know where the nearest hospital is for where you live. Always know that. Where the and if you don't have a hospital close to you, I have been so lucky that a hospital has always been close to me, and it definitely speaks to socioeconomics, but that has been something I've always really thought of when I was renting an apartment. Is a hospital. I solve for that, because if there's anything that's emergent, you are able to, time is of the essence, right? So on top of that, we have making sure that you have some go back supplies already pre-packed. So a change of clothes, fresh socks, like a pack of socks. I'm buying my family's pack of socks. Sure am. Buying a pack of socks for everybody. Because if you can't stay where you are, you are in being on the road. The number one thing that people say that they want is socks. Make sure you have enough socks. I trust them. I believe them. I'm going to, especially me who's funny about like not having my feet comfortable before I sleep. I will absolutely not be able to sleep if I don't have socks on. So I'm going to get myself at least a couple of like multi-packs of socks. And that's going to go into a backpack. Um, uh, Something that has a laptop sleeve, obviously, so you can carry around your electronics. This is one of those multi-use bags. They sell them on Temu as well. Like, it doesn't have to be expensive, but get a nylon type, non like rotting backpack, durable, that is going to be able to hold your laptop, hold your electronics, hold some clothes, hold a flashlight, hold a you can put some protein bars, you can put some nuts. I'll give some ideas on a blog post later. I even bought this emergency like big bag. I had one before. Sure did. It was $75 and it was food, a food source, an emergency food source. That's what I bought from Amazon. And they have that, like a survival kit. They have a ton of those. I think I want to get a first aid one. But then I also want to encourage you to get medicine. So if there's anything that you take that is not like, that is a prescription, just around these times, read up on it. Just put a reminder where you can be reminded. I like Notion because it allows me to have a central place to do my thing. But also, I like the idea of you figuring out how you are going to make yourself accountable in your own way, be it through your physical planning system or your digital. What are going to be those records? And in terms of a medicine source, get some tea. I'm Caribbean, so I believe tea helps. So get you some tea. Get you some, like a multi-tool, like something that is able to help you to cut things, to, like I said, when I started, you might not have been here, Vitamin, but I got this. It has this is also here too. It's also a whistle. So there's the hammer, the wrench, the top you can use for a screwdriver with the stuff on the side. I'm going to put the link to it in the description box. A pair of pliers, and then the screws for the screwdriver come out of the side. And then, so I can basically build anything, fix anything up. So if I need to, I have put this back in. On this, a knife, and like I said, a whistle. Where's the whistle? Oh, this is another thing. I don't know what that does. See? Tools. Like multi-tools. These are made by people who are enthusiasts, and so they put a lot of things together. And if you aren't the one that's going to use it, somebody that is important in your, you can't tell me a hammer and a screwdriver ain't going to be helpful being on you, right? Um, there's compasses that you can get that are paracord. I used to have that. Um, that one came with a whistle as well. Um, so digitizing your business, putting things in order so that you can make sure that you have records of things that people need to pay you. You have records of things that you are owing and owed, right? And so start thinking about where you're going to put your receipts for your business. Start thinking about where you're going to put backup contracts, stuff like that. That can also, if your business would benefit from a waterproof, fireproof box that would just contain invoices, important documents, like core important documents or copies of those, and IDs, then you would be able to really be okay if not really be okay, but be able to give yourself tools and options, because you have enough information to keep going on, right? So this video is not to scare you, but I think it is important to point out that in what is the realm of our possibility right now, if your city has experienced a hurricane before and it was devastating, you should have some things putting. And if you are in the zone where one can, please please consider getting yourself in order, prioritizing some of these emergency supplies, because most people end up staying around where they are at and rebuilding, right? And so this is the look. It's very, very plain. But this is how I'm feeling right now. And this is the get ready. I hope you like this twist. Vitamin, are you still there? It's okay. I'm still figuring it out, but I hope this was a good live. I'm going to cut this up, and I hope that you and your family stay safe and have